Yes. You can sit wherever you'd like, because we're going to be moving around. Okay. Hello, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 25th. It's 1:30. We have exactly an hour. I'm going to do three things. I'm first going to introduce myself and our committee and a definition of sustainability. Secondly, we have one person from each of the 6 task forces who will come up and tell you about 3 minutes about what the task forces are each about. And thirdly, so that'll be the first 15 to 20 minutes. And thirdly, we're going to be moving around. So each table has a task force sign on it, and the chairperson is going to be at that table, and they're going to be telling you a little about it. And I have sign-up sheets here. People, let me see where I put them. They have sign-up sheets so you can sign up if you're interested in more in the task force. Okay, so let me just get started. Just a quickie introduction. So I'm Joy Dreyer. I'm one of the 5 steering committee members. We are a committee that is combined of both residents and management. So Michelle, Rob, and Tom are also on our committee, which is a fairly unusual situation. And we do not have one chairperson. We have 5 steering committee members. And those that are here are going to raise their hands. So there's Yaakov over there, Carol over there. I think Dawn is away, and June Finer's away. But Carol has taken the place of 2 members, both Browns, Nora and George, who had previously started 4.5 years ago. And so Nora, just raise your hand. And is George here?
He's temporarily absent.
Temporarily absent. So I want to thank you for your time, for 4 years of your work at the beginning.
Oh, that's great.
I want to tell you very quickly how it started. And I'm going to ask Vicki Danskin to come up to the mic. Actually, I shouldn't be walking around because they're videotaping this. So, do you want to stand up? You just stand up where you are. Okay. So you have to stand up and face, and I forgot about that. You have to face the video over here. So you're going to stand in front. Oh, sorry. So Vicki's going to tell you a little bit about the very first sustainability. Oh, actually, let me tell you, I'm sorry, a second. Let me tell you, there's a definition of sustainability, and there are many definitions. But Wikipedia calls it a social goal for people to coexist on Earth over a long period of time. But I actually like the SUNY definition, because SUNY New Pulse has a wonderful sustainability program over the last 12 years. And their definition is, together let's transform our campus and region and shift our consciousness and actions toward valuing the well-being of all living creatures and the earth. And so sustainability often has 3 components: economic, environmental, and social. And we try to focus actually on all 3. You'll see that. But sustainability has lots of meanings, and we're trying to make it really relevant here at Woodland Pond. And so the first person who started thinking about some of this was Vicki Danskin. So now I can introduce you. So just give us a little history of your interaction around sustainability.
Okay, well,
Front of the camera there.
Well, guilty as charged. There was a time when people were thinking big here, management and residents, about sustainability, and they made a huge place for compost, about half the size of this room, and they were very ambitious, and obviously somebody had a pickup truck, and they fenced it all with old wooden pallets. And that's where we were supposed to put our compost, but having been trained as a master gardener, I knew that wouldn't work. It would feed a lot of animals. It really would, not a problem. And some of it might, after a time, turn into something that could be used as would take, a generation maybe. So we changed that, and that's why we have a very accessible, right here in this building, places to leave any kitchen waste that you would like to contribute. And it is taken away by a business called the Community Compost Company, which was just starting at the time we were doing all this business about trying to compost our kitchen waste and our personal waste. So those two things came together very fortuitously, and although we have to pay the community compost to remove our waste, we would also have to pay a garbage company to remove our waste because they both charge based on weight. So we were able to get a lot done for the environment and not cost much more at all. And that's how it started.
And that was about how long ago was that?
Say again?
How long ago when you first?
It was probably 11 years ago, maybe 12.
Okay. So I think you complained to management that the initial site was not the best idea,
Right.
and things got changed. So
Yes.
the point is that one person can make a big difference, and Vicky's voice made a big difference. It started us, right?
Always speak up, management will listen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now the meeting can be over.
The most important message was delivered. Thank you,
Yeah.
Vicky.
So the second person was Stu Greenfield, who did a documentary called The Sixth Generation, because the first 5 generations are natural occurrences that affect the earth, and the sixth was human-induced. And so his documentary was presented here quite a while ago. I don't even remember how long ago. 5 years ago. We've done it twice. We might do it again. It's a wonderful documentary that he put together. So that was one of the earlier experiences that we've had here of sustainability awareness. The third thing that happened was during COVID, and it was February of 2020, when everything got shut down. The dining room was serving, we have about 300 independent residents, and they were serving lunch to 300 and dinner to 300. And they started using plastic containers. And a couple of us, I don't remember, people may have other versions of the story, ran into each other in the hall and said, look at all this plastic that's going into landfill. This is horrendous. So we put together, we started to meet, and we put together a little survey. This is help reduce our plastic waste. This was our little survey that we put out. And we asked if people were willing to pay a little bit more, another quarter or 50 cents more, if we got sustainable packaging. And this is what we came up with. Ronnie Licata found out the original plastic was about 12 cents per container. This is around 81 cents or something. It goes through 12 dishwashing cycles. And so it is very much more sustainable. So that's where this came from. This was 4 years ago. And so that's how our meetings started. We've done a whole variety of things. We do Earth Day, which is every April. We did a wonderful Sustainability Follies, which was a fun little learning experience. And we have a whole variety of things like our communications. We have a monthly column and all in our Living Pond Life. So I'm going to move to our second stage, which is to introduce you to our 6 task forces. And one of the things we tried to figure out, how do you talk about sustainability? What kind of programs? And we came up with these 6 sort of dimensions of sustainability. That's where the task force came from. And so I'm just going to ask in alphabetical order, kind of, each chairperson just to come up and give like a 3-minute summary of what that task force does. And after the 6 people will give you a brief summary, then you can go to each table and actually have more conversation about it. And I have a little bell that I'm going to ring after 5 or 6 minutes, and people like speed dating. Get up and go to another table and find out a little bit more, because the chairpersons will be at each table. And at about, let's say about after 2:15, we'll come back and just do a little summary and give us some feedback. Because the idea is really to introduce all of you, particularly people who are new-ish, most of you are new-ish, to what we're doing. Okay, so alternatives to grass. You've seen our 4 plots, and Michelle is co-chair of that, so you're on.
Thank you. Oh.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Michelle Carolia, and I'm the president and CEO here at Woodland Pond. This is not my weekly address for a Tuesday. But I am very driven by sustainability efforts, and I am so proud of this committee and all the work that we're doing. One of the ones, the task forces that interests me the most that we currently have is our Alternatives to Grass Task Force. And this arose because we have a lot of lawn that is cultivated lawn here, intentional lawn, that requires, or has historically required, a lot of mowing and treatment and chemical herbs and pesticides for a variety of reasons, some of which go back all the way to construction and decisions that were made not to irrigate, the type of soil that was used before the grass seed was put down. We've been kind of fighting an upward battle. So we got together as a task force and decided that we wanted to try to find ways to reduce the amount of lawn that we have, because it reduces mowing, which mowing, if you were part of our task force, you would learn, is in some ways very bad for some fauna, bugs, the ecosystems and so forth, and also to reduce the use of chemical herbicides and pesticides. In so doing, we have had a number of different strategies, which have included stopping mowing and treating the lawn in some of our most ecologically sensitive parts of the campus. So as you look at the perimeter road, you'll see that the grass and weeds or whatever are about yay high. That's because on the other side of that is wetlands, and that's an ecologically sensitive area. And so where we can do that, we've done that now. We also have contracted with a landscape architect to help us design 4 demonstration gardens, and there's information about those gardens at the table, to do a multi-year process of installation and observation of different types of native grasses, round covers, flowering plants, and so forth, so that we can identify, as we look at reducing lawn, what could some of our options be? What works well, what doesn't work well, and the next thing that we want to do as part of our goals are to continue to look for alternatives for non-toxic treatments for the grass, and finally to educate ourselves and residents on opportunities in this regard. One thing that you will not hear today, but is kind of a vein throughout all of this, is we set a goal for ourselves as a steering committee this year to adopt by the end of the year a Woodland Pond Sustainability Action Plan. That is a multi-year plan that incorporates the current year and upcoming year goals of each of these task forces. So in addition to everyone that you'll hear today, there's also a Sustainability Action Plan task force that pulls together all of the work that each committee is doing in the current year, and then sets goals for next year and then ongoing. So we always have this perpetually going, and this is a document that is going to eventually live on our website and be available for everyone so that they can know and understand that we are very dedicated to sustainability here at the community.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. We didn't include that in our on one of our tables, but if interested, come see me, because it's really an overview. I don't know if you call it a task force, but it is a task force. I guess it is a task force. Okay, so energy. I think Peter is coming to do the honors here. Yes.
Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm a newbie. I just moved in less than a year ago, maybe 10 months ago, and I've only been on the Energy Task Force for maybe 6 months. And the chair of it is Rolf Newhouse over there with the red shirt at table number 2, and he informed me at 8 o'clock this morning that I would be doing the presentation for reasons that he had to have dental work done today. So with that in mind, we do a number of things. We started in 2023 to replace existing bulbs for existing community residents with LEDs, with light emitting diode bulbs. And Rolf, who's at table number 2 in the red shirt, can tell you more about bulbs. He knows more about bulbs than I do about German literature. So he's the man to talk to about bulbs. And we're about 2/3 done, and we hope to finish up the remaining apartments, and I think the cottages have been done, but I'm not sure. So another issue is the lighting in infrequently used rooms. We have storage rooms down in the basement, and there are hundreds of lights in there, and when people go in, spend 5 minutes and leave, the lights can stay on for hours and hours. So we made recommendations about using motion sensor or a timer, and Rolf just suggested this afternoon maybe having glass in the doors so people can see inside whether the lights are on or not. So that would save quite a bit of energy and money. The other thing is to maybe talk to people and give them information about how they can more sustainably use their washers and dryers. So the washing machine works just as well with cold water if you use Tide or any of the standard detergents, and you don't need hot water. You don't need to do small loads. You could do larger loads, which are more efficient, and same thing goes for the dryer. We've also been looking at what's going on in my old employment place, SUNY New Paltz, where they've had a sustainability committee and they've had a master energy plan. And one of the things they've done is taken infrared photographs of the outside of buildings. And in the winter, you can see where the heat loss is. And then the next time the building is renovated, you could put a thermal shield on the outside to help keep the temperature constant inside with less energy. We also want to talk to residents about how they can save and conserve energy by not cooling so much, by not heating so much, and also by using more energy efficient cars like hybrids. Unfortunately, the apartments here are not individually metered, so there's no financial consequence of saving money, and the same thing goes for the cottages. So as a result, we need to get people to realize that it makes sense to be good, even though it doesn't save them dollars.
Peter, I'm going to interrupt you because I want to
Pardon
give
me?
other people a chance. I want to give other people a chance to talk.
Okay.
It just,
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see, thank you very much. You can see there are quite a few different projects going on. We're saving both energy and money on all of this. Composting is up next, Carol. So composting paper and cardboard we kind of put together. We're trying to give you just a few of the different programs that we're doing. So if you wanted to join any one of these committees, any ideas you might have are completely welcome.
Welcome, everyone. I'm substituting for June Feiner today, who's on vacation, lucky June. One of our objectives is to reduce the amount of paper and cardboard. And you may have seen this sign in the cart room that's just to the left of concierge. We're trying to reuse paper such as this paper that's been used for menus. And for those of you who do just informational printing, it's not an important document or anything, this comes in very handy. I keep this by my computer and I use this all the time. Also, the administrative offices are using this paper, and the dining services are now printing on both sides to use it. Another program that we've started is the Green Dot program. How many of you are Green Dotters? Okay, well, hopefully we can get more of you. What that means is that you will receive your communications by email. The exceptions to that are your bill that comes to you, as well as Woodland Life. But other papers like Chanticleer will come that way, and that will save paper. Another thing, on October 15th, we're going to sponsor a meeting on getting rid of unwanted mail. And in addition to that, what we are promoting is that if you have subscriptions to the New York Times or magazines that come in paper form, to think about how much it would save if you used an email subscription instead. With respect to cardboard, we're trying to come up with some new ways to deal with cardboard. One possible use is that people who are moving to Woodland Pond or leaving Woodland Pond could use cardboard boxes, say, for their packing, so they wouldn't have to actually purchase them. And the last thing that I want to mention is food waste. This is June's compost container. But we have 2 places where you can recycle food waste, and it includes a lot of things. And it will keep it out of the garbage. And Vicki mentioned that community compost picks it up. But there is, in the cart room, there's a container for compost. And if you are in cottages or you're outdoors, there are compost containers that are by the loading dock that you can use.
Thank you so much. You see, we have a lot of things going on, so a lot of programs. Alphabetically, the next is communications, and I'm the chair of that. And that's partly why this was my turn. This is a Wednesday, I should remind everybody. The 4th Wednesday of every month is our monthly sustainability committee meeting. It's usually from 2 to 3. Today it's earlier because of the residential council meeting that starts at 3 o'clock today, so we have to be in a larger room and start earlier. But normally the 4th Wednesday of every month, 2 to 3 in the classroom. And so this is a major communications event, so I'm chairing this particular one, but we do take turns chairing. Communications is really easy to tell you about. Woodland Life, we have, I usually, anyone who's working with me, we do a Woodland Life column, and we also do something almost every month in the Chanticleer. I'm going to move on because of time. Dining is a committee that we had sort of staffed before, but people have gone on to do other things. Dining can be a really major sustainability effort because procurement, how you purchase food, what the kind of money that is spent on food and all, it could be, there's so many things that could be done. So anyone who's interested in that table's back there. We are interested in peopling that committee. And last but not least is reuse and repair, and that is Yakov.
Well, good afternoon. I've been involved in some of the other committees, but when I came here about almost 5 years ago, I was living in Queens, and I was interested in issues about sustainability. One of them, because I tend to be kind of obsessive about fixing things, I thought about the Repair Cafe, and we just had somebody presenting something, and we decided, well, let's do it. So we got organized, and we even registered with the international Repair Cafe movement that many of you are not aware of. But It just COVID hit, and we couldn't get any gatherings or to do anything. So if you're interested about the Repair Cafe, we'll have, in that table in the middle, we can talk about that. But basically, the Repair Cafe movement started in Europe about something like 20 years ago, and it's designed to avoid the regular cycle that we get something, we buy, there is money invested, materials invested, and so on, labor, and we use it, something goes wrong, what do? Throw it away, buy a new one, okay? So there is a strong interest in avoiding that or expanding that cycle where we can extend the life cycle of things. And many times when there is a simple repair, we can do that. The problem usually is people don't know, they don't have the tools, they don't have the skills, they don't have the time, blah, blah, blah. And the Repair Cafe is basically organized with volunteers that want to repair things. People come with their stuff, and in front of the customers, we tend to fix things. Most of the time we do fix them, sometimes we cannot. But this is the idea. We had done 5 repair cafes here at Woodland Pond, and when COVID eased up and we were able to get together. So if you are more interested in more details, we'll talk about that at that table. But the other thing which we are doing is reusing things, because extending the lifetime of something that needs fixing is one thing, but the other thing is sometimes we throw things away because we don't know what to do with them. And that happens particularly in a place like us here, that people reduce their inventory because they move to a smaller place. They come from a big house to here, they don't know what to do with things. So there is many people that can use things, and we have been involved in making sure that things don't go to the waste and they find homes where we can extend their lifestyle. So that's the other one, and we have a couple of teams doing this, and you can find more information when we get there.
It's dizzying how much stuff we're doing. That's really amazing. Now we have about 15 minutes, and I have sign-up sheets if you want to have more information, and there will be one at each table. And so if you're at a table now, you know who the chairperson is, and ask any questions. I'm going to ring a little bell in about 4 minutes and see if there's another table that you'd like to go to where you want to ask questions. We're really interested in what your concerns are and how you might participate. So let's go ahead and just chat. The chairs of each, let's see, except for dining. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go.
I forgot
You forgot a
an important announcement. I think it's through the grapevine that I heard that Michelle Gramolia's birthday is today. It's not? Is it wrong?
It's true, and the funny thing is there's 2 other residents that have the same birthday from what I understand. Ted Bewley, I know for sure, and supposedly Dr. Estwick. But the more important thing is that today is the first day 15 years ago that people moved in. So September 25th is a big, big day. Okay, so for those of you there, if you want to learn about any of the specific committees,
This is shared communications. I'd love to have another person reach out, sign up. We could do a lot of different things. Have one person write a column each it's under 200 words.
This is really the greatest commission. We're doing so much. If I do say so myself. That's very good. There's a lot to be seen, right?
It looks like you're That's another area that we can do a lot in.
Who's the chair? Hi, Barry. Want to come join us?
Anytime you pass the beds, you said you're in the south. We don't know that because we
We're trying to completions of the sustainability. It's one of the task forces. And so I do all the things that
One of our fun projects coming up is to make seed balls. We're gathering wildflower seeds and we mix them with a certain proportion of soil and sand, and you make mud balls, snowballs. And in these places where the ground is disturbed,
and we have so we submitted last month. She is the director of the program. Sue's going what did the seeds variate of plants? Still was the same dining sequence.
Don't tell anyone.
And there might be a big set of
that was the worst thing. Saying goodbye to the house. Because we started out with nothing. No grass, no trees. Yeah.
That's a different topic. No, it's a different topic every month. As we decide that's different. The topic is, so for example, in October, we're going to unwanted mail. That's going to be the focus. So this is a different focus.
Oh, yeah. We have
library, just sign these out, and then take a closer look at the names
real
of the
estate
program.
native. And if you want years ago,
Time to look around. What are other
That's that we put in,
and that's the list. If anybody's interested. Yeah, there are a lot of perennials. So many of them.
next year, one of the attributes of these native plants is supposed to be that they settle in, they don't have to roots, and next year, depending on natural
So they now put up signs with a QR code. Yeah, we have some. You know, try that. For me, this is key to getting peak in the size because that was higher than the flower. But I'm sure
Thank you for signing up. And if you pass them and you see anything, you have a smartphone, you have a phone. Okay, so if you're passing our beds and you see a lovely butterfly or bees or something, you look at and if we can answer, any questions beforehand, we start with our meeting.
but there are amazing other plants that are native to the
I have little kids, but they're out for service. So maybe it's a good thing. Well, it's